I recreated the self-stirring mug from the Practical Magic movies, and the #1 upgrade that people requested was for me to make one that you could actually put a drink in. So like any good witch in STEM, I did some research. The first step is always to set up your laboratory. So what I'm using here is called a magnetic stirrer. If you're not familiar with a magnetic stirrer, they are often used in laboratory settings. What it is comprised of 2 magnets. So inside that box that you see sitting there on the table, there is a magnet attached to a motor, and that motor just spins around and around really fast. There's a dial that you can adjust the speed of that motor. And so what you do is you take these little magnet tabs that you see sitting in the box on the table there. You take one of those magnet tabs and you put it in your solution, and then you can turn the dial to stir your solution. And the nice thing is that you can have a continuous stirring of your solution without using your hands. So kind of like magic. In order to make this just like the self-stirring mugs from the Practical Magic movies, my idea was to take one of these magnet tabs and attach it to a spoon or the handle of a spoon in a food safe way so that you could put coffee in your mug and stir it like magic. I started off with a draft of my idea by taping one of these magnets to a plastic spoon. I just wanted to keep it super lightweight from the start just to see if my idea would actually work. You can see I tried the plastic beaker, I tried a couple of different actual mugs, and I couldn't get it to work until I tried this glass jar right here. I turned it on, let it spin for a few seconds, and immediately I was like, oh my god, this is working. This is exactly how I had envisioned it working. But unfortunately, I was completely unable to reproduce the effect. And like any good witch in STEM knows, in order to have any credibility in your research, you have to be able to reproduce your work. So back to square one, I'm trying to figure out a way to get a magnet to rotate underneath the bottom of this cup or this mug. I thought, what if I ordered a small rotating motor? You can get those easily from Amazon or other places online for probably cheaper. But then I thought, why don't I just use that disco ball motor that I have from the original self-stirring mug project and adapt it to fit this one. I started with just a very basic cardboard mock-up to see if my idea would even work. I took a scrap piece of cardboard and made a little platform to put this magnet on, stuck a hole through it so I could put it onto the stem or the rotating bit of that disco ball motor, and this is what my first prototype looks like. So then I tore apart one of these magnets that I had. These heavy-duty magnets are part of a baby-proofing cabinet lock system, so it's a pretty strong magnet that's enclosed in a plastic case, and I just broke open the plastic case so that I could get one of the magnets out. We have like 8 to 10 of these magnets floating around our kitchen at any given time, so I don't think we'll miss one of them. And then I needed to find something to act as an arm and hold the magnet at a distance away from the center of the motor so that the magnet could rotate in a bigger circle. And what I found is that this little Lego piece fit exactly on the motor. So now that I have the rotating magnet piece sorted out, I need to find a way to attach the smaller magnet that goes inside of your coffee to a spoon in a way to make it food safe. Now there are some glues that are food safe. Some of them have to cure for a long time, and I don't have time for that. I also didn't care to research what exactly toxins I was going to be putting in my coffee. So how could I attach these together without using any sort of glue? And the solution that I came up with was using a silicone straw. So I took this flexi straw and I shoved the magnet into one end of it, cut part of the straw off, and then just slid that end of the spoon into the top part of that silicone straw. Now the top part of that spoon is that antique spoon that I broke in half for my original self-stirring mug tutorial. People got angry in the comments on Instagram because I had apparently destroyed this antique silverware. And well, let me tell you, this spreader had been hand stamped, like metal stamped. It had words in the side of it. It came as a set. And it had like love and hope and like live, laugh, love or whatever like stamped into this little spreader set. This is something that somebody else had probably thrifted, made into something new, resold, was gifted to me, had been sitting in a drawer forever and ever and ever, and was probably eventually destined for the Goodwill or the landfill anyways. So the fact that I am reusing this here means that it is getting used. So don't come for me in the comments saying that I destroyed this antique thing, or do. I don't really care, honestly, because no matter if the comment is good or bad, you guys are still helping drive my video in popularity on the algorithm, so go right ahead. So now that we have our bottom rotating magnet and our top spoon magnet all ready to go, we're testing it out and it's working. The only thing left is for us now to hide the rotating magnet on the bottom. So this next part is really important. You have to grab your copy of Defense Against the Dark Arts. This is the only way that you'll be able to properly hide that disco ball motor. If you don't have a copy of Defense Against the Dark Arts, then what are you even doing here in this tutorial? No, I'm totally kidding. So I'm just using what I have on hand here. I have these 2 empty book boxes that I have previously made into different spell books. I got these at Michael's. That's probably like one of the first places that comes to mind when I think of where to get these. You probably can get these elsewhere online. I'll see if I can link some for you guys. Michael's has these in stock all year long, so even if it's not currently Halloween season, you can go get like a spring one and just decorate it like a spell book. So make sure to measure the height of your disco ball motor with the magnet attached to it, or your regular rotating motor if you're not using the disco ball motor. Whichever motor you have, measure the height of that, and then make sure that your boxes stack up to be just slightly taller than the height of your rotating motor. If you ended up using just a simple rotating motor for this, you could very likely get away with just using one box for this. You probably won't need a double stack like I used. You probably wouldn't even have to drill at the bottom either. You would probably just drill a small hole in the side for the cords to come through. And in fact, it really was at this point in the project when I was like, I really should just stop here and redo this whole thing with a simple motor, because it's so much bigger and bulkier using the disco ball motor. But the reason I persisted is because sometimes those rotating motors aren't necessarily as DIY friendly as something like this disco ball motor, where you basically just slap 2 batteries in it and you don't have to worry about connecting any wires or anything like that. So this method can be easier depending on your DIY skill level. Once I got the holes cut out of these boxes and had the disco ball motor set the way I wanted it to go, I just used some foam clay around the base of it to secure it in place. The last thing that you'll need to do once your boxes are all in place is to figure out where your mug should sit so that it will be centered on the motor underneath, and that your spoon will rotate in a complete circle. If the mug is not centered on that motor underneath it, then your spoon will rotate in like this half circle motion and it won't go completely around. And here it is, totally finished. I'm just trying it out with a couple of different mugs to make sure that everything is working properly. And of course, I need the cat's approval for this too. And then naturally, the very last thing for us to do is to pour an actual drink in it. And of course it works. I had so much fun making this tutorial for you guys. It definitely was a bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it. And I think I'm ready for the next build to try some actual real prop building motors that I see all of you guys using in your DIY animatronic Halloween projects. So stay tuned for the next one.